And we have a match, and it's up against Himmelstosh again. We played against him, I think, in the last match, or the one before, not exactly sure. So let's load into here. Alright, Colosseum, maybe. There is... Okay, not the greatest synergies. Could just take the rich land instead. Or the urban growth, both works. You know what, I'm gonna go urban growth. I don't feel Colosseum right now. They're also not... I guess he gets Colosseum and rich land, but that's gonna be okay. So... yeah, let's take another look at the leaders. I guess there is Barbarossa. Oh, I didn't see him. I didn't see him, actually, yeah. This would have been a great Colosseum game. My bad. I did not catch him there at the end of the row. I was looking and guess I played too fast. He's also not gonna go for the Colosseum. He's going for the library instead. So we get that Acropolis next turn. Let's start doing this, and then probably the Engineering Genius. He could then go for Hammurabi, and then we don't get a leader, but I don't feel like paying 2 civil elections for Sun Tzu. So let's make this interesting, I guess. Let's see if he will go for Hammurabi, which I suspect he will. Ah, this would have been such a great Colosseum game. Damn, yeah, I really regret that now. Now that I see Barbarossa. Especially with this card draw now. Well, when you play too fast, when you don't actually look at the leaders, and he will go for Hammurabi. Interesting start to the game. There's an early barb. I still think I want to go for the crop release. Decrease pop. Could go for the Code of Laws, or there's the Breakthrough, but I think Code of Laws here is better. Yeah. Could still go for some early military. Spectre Law, hey, yeah, surprise stream, as always. But yeah, I mean, as always, it's a surprise stream, and as always, it's unregular. Hey, Kilit. Yeah, it's a little bit different timing today. But yeah, I had some time at this hour, and then I thought, why not stream right now? Let's see where it takes us. And I was able to find an opponent relatively quickly, which is nice. So, up against Himmelstosh we are. And with the uncertain borders and a raid, it seems like Joan has some good potential. There's also Barb. If the swordsmen stay, I could go for Barb. I'm seeing more of the Joan of Arc, to be honest. There's Bach as well. Ooh, drama and breakthrough. You're watching the last video against Himmelstosh earlier? Okay. Yeah, I thought that those games were quite interesting, so I uploaded them. Yeah, let's go for Uncertain. And then go for... Oh, now we especially will go for Joan of Arc. Okay, Raiders and Tactic. Not the greatest one. Do we actually will have... actually have some... no, now we won't. I thought we wouldn't have the food, but yeah. Looks like he's full-time pulse now. Yeah, seems like he's playing a lot now. So that's great. Always need more opponents. Always need those. and first talking about this game, I feel like we have a good start. I like this position a lot already. There's a monarchy. We can probably go for an extra religion and then go for the cheap monarchy with the Acropolis. Yeah, this is a great start. Getting the free religion. Now probably getting the monarchy as well. Oh not. I was wondering. Okay, it went from my hand into his immediately. That was fun. So let's play the Raiders. So sadly, I guess we can still go for the Apostolator. We have the Code of Laws and everything. So I could go for an extra religion this turn, or I could just go for the Iron. And maybe don't push. Don't pop. Upgrade twice. Maybe later on we also get the St. Pete's. Yeah, sure, let's do this. By the way, Prospect, pretty fun. He's full-time on Pulse now, like that is his full-time job. Whatever would be awesome, but yeah, he's probably playing all of his games on Pulse now, but probably not a full-time job for anybody. So 8 rocks. Probably gonna go for Nostradamus this turn to defend a little bit. I mean, we see what's on top. So then we can decide if we want to push. Killed Revolution turn for him. Maybe, yeah, I mean, he could just take the 2 corruption if he wants to save the science. He has, in theory, the library and breakthrough, so I think I would just finish the library and don't go for a revolution. Can't even take an extra break. Oh no, he can. His hand is not full if he finishes the library, so just take the breakthrough and research monarchy next turn for the 8. Feels like something. Yeah, it seems like he has the science for it. Oh, no, he will go for the revolution. And, okay, he does even get out of corruption with building the extra Aurora. Fine, fine. Okay, colony on our turn. He didn't draw that much yet. I have to pop this. If I push, he will see what I have pushed, so... Maybe the scientific. I don't like that. Let's go full on Crusades. One card is enough for him to win it. Yeah, but at least on our turn we get the advantage. So that's my thinking. If I don't open it, he's gonna open it next turn. And I don't plan on... I guess I could have gone for an extra army, but even then he has to pay 2 units and then the colony is still good, but not great. Okay, we get this. Nice. That gives us a science for the code this turn. I also would like the St. Pete's. And then rebuild so we are stronger. So we would not lose to the uncertain borders at least. Yeah, this is a clean turn. Gets the iron on 2. Okay, he's not pushing yet. Let's see if he's gonna. The longer we have to wait for him to push, the less likely it becomes, which would be great for us. If he is Nostradamus and can't push. He can. Alright. Historic. Okay. He can have this one. And there is a sewer, so it's not without any value, but yeah, it's better for us to get the first one and for him to win the historic. Next turn we could just finish the St. Pete's. Okay, he's gonna go for the iron upgrade, so alright. Raiders on top. I mean, if... could do something different. I could do this to really get stronger, and this, and this, and even an irrigation. I don't hate that. I like that quite a lot, actually. We don't need to finish the St. Pete's this turn. Don't even need to finish it next turn. Theocracy stays on 3, so next turn I probably get it for 2 or 1, and then it's really cheap, so I want to go for that. Makes it awkward for the Raiders and the Uncertain Border, so I think it's worth it to get stronger here. It's not that easy for him to beat us now. I guess he could go Warfare, has to build an extra warrior. Yeah, I like this turn. I don't like Reds now that they have the irrigation. Let's see if he pushes into the Raiders. And look at the cards here. Strength is worth a lot at the moment. And it starts with the Raiders, so he's gonna lose a couple of rocks. And if he doesn't get stronger, there's even the Uncertain Borders. And that is a big one. We can fight for that. So if he becomes less weaker, we can just not push. Go for the Theocracy. And Theocracy is 2 extra strength. The turn after that, we probably finish the St. Pete's, which is, if we go for Theocracy, St. Pete's is another 3 strength. But first we'll have to see what he does here. But actually, yeah, losing 2 rocks or 2 food, then he can't push, so it suggests for him to lose the 2 rocks. With only 3 rocks this turn, it's not that easy to get stronger than us or to get not weaker. Could go for Knight, show tactic, but then he doesn't upgrade his iron. So our game is going great. Maybe he just stays weaker, then we get a great Uncertain Borders, which will help us even more. And then for H2, I mean, H is gonna end after his turn. Not a big deal for us yet. The bank is still looking fine. And then we can transition with Bach. Could go for Nobel. Yeah, a lot of great options. Even Gaudi is playable. Especially with that iron, with that irrigation. I mean, we have the iron already, and next turn we're gonna upgrade irrigation probably. Just feels very, very strong having all of that together with the developed territory, and then maybe an extra yellow cube from the Uncertain. Kremlin is also really nice for us, so yeah, I think I want to finish the St. Pete's soon. So not next turn, obviously we can't do that, but the turn after that, the idea is to finish this, so that we would be ready for New Wonder, especially the Kremlin, and to get the extra culture, get the extra everything, strength. He's gonna stay weaker, nice. This is gonna be good. Yeah. Uncertain Borders, we win. I want the Theocracy, and I think I want to just upgrade 2 irrigations. Next turn I have exactly enough for the St. Pete's. I can go for Theocracy. Clean turn. lot of aggressions. Lot of aggressions. Full synergy, yes. I mean, we could even go for 4 religions with the Acropolis. We could go for 4 organized religions with St. Pete's and Theocracy. That is the maximum strength you can get from Joan of Arc, and that would be really ridiculous strength. 4 organized religions with heavy phase mean 16 strength plus Theocracy, which is another 2. So 18 strength is the maximum from Joan of Arc. And we could get that. We probably won't. Going for that many organized religions is really expensive and not a good play. But it would be a lot of fun. Would be 18 strength from Joan of Arc if I did that math correctly. And now I kind of want to do it, but obviously it's a bad play. We don't need the organized religions, so yeah, probably not going to do it. But maybe we can go for 4 religions and the Theocracy. Just still a lot of strength from Joan of Arc. It's also gonna get irrigation, swordsman reserves. Okay, so we're still stronger and not weaker. Rebellion on top. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna push the popularization of science. He doesn't have that much science production and it gives us more culture for pushing. Okay, so plan was finished. St. Pete's. Go for the Theocracy. I guess we could go Gaudi printing press. I think I'd rather increase pop here. We have a lot of rocks, so we don't really need the printing press. So 11 strength all of a sudden. 6 from Joan of Arc. Ooh, a lot of colonies. And there is that Suez, but first there's also the Kremlin now. And that one's looking good. And he kind of has to be scared now if we have a war especially, or even aggressions. I guess aggressions with having Nostradamus is not that big of a deal for him. But what we definitely have, or what we could have, would be a war, and that would be horrible for him. So what can be the late game plan? I'm still not sure if we're gonna go Suez. We also want the Kremlin. I mean, there is an obvious choice, Bach and then Hollywood and Chaplin maybe, or just Bach and Hollywood. Yeah, all of that is great stuff. Yeah, just have to wait now. The game is going, if I'm honest, game is kind of a little bit boring because it's just so clean. There are no hard turns, there are no hard decisions. And I don't, yeah, it's going pretty smoothly. I mean, a lot of it depends on what Himmelstosh will do now. I think we can definitely say he's behind. He's in a struggling position. Obviously not his civilization is struggling in any way. He has iron and irrigation and some other stuff. But there's definitely some things not going too well for him. Or let's say they're going better for us than they are for him. Okay, let's maybe go for the scientific breakthrough. Could mean he goes for Nobel, but I'm fine with that. I definitely want to push. And I don't want to push a colony, because he sees that, obviously. And then I would really like the Kremlin, and I could finish that next turn. Once again, turn is pretty clean. I can even go for the Cavalryman, and then next turn finish the Kremlin. What can I say? Seems pretty clean. There is a war. And architecture. Architecture is also great in our position. Yes, it's pretty expensive, but still. And this small war of attack we could just do is also very, very promising. We don't have to invest into that heavily, we just play that next turn, try to get a little bit of science. Even if we can somehow defend, we're not gonna lose a lot. Yeah, that's probably gonna be our next politics action. We also have a prosperity. With our happy faces, that's a lot of food. There is no Red Cross, sadly, but yeah, just getting a lot of extra pop would also be great. We know there's no rats because we played them, or we discarded them ourselves. So where does he go from here? He doesn't have a lot of signs for this turn. There's no wonder for him. He could just take a couple of cards. Could go for Nobel. It would change things. Then we probably can't go for a war. Then we would have to go for prosperity. I mean, I wouldn't hate the Nobel for him. He does know there's a pop of science and the scientific breakthrough. Okay, the Schnitz. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, if I was him, I probably would. I mean, the way I see it, he has two options. I mean, there's probably more for him because it's not like it's looking horrible for him. But two options that I would think of is either now go for Nobel, try to go for military, or hope and get Bach. If he gets Bach, our culture lead doesn't matter quite as much. There are not that many leaders left. We skip Gaudi, and if he gets Bach, we can't use Shakespeare. Nobel is going to be gone. There's only going to be Napoleon, and what? So yeah, if he now skips Nobel and waits for Bach, and he gets him and not us, he has a good shot at the game. If we get Bach and he doesn't, he could still go for Napoleon and try to out-war us. Yeah, it's an interesting turn for him. Let's see what he will decide to do. Yeah, just getting the extra science from Nobel. Especially with this. This is a great setup to just go for Nobel. It's also a great setup for us to maybe go for scientific method instead of Kremlin. It could be an option. On the other hand, going for the war, finishing Kremlin with the architecture, and then maybe getting a little bit of extra science if he doesn't go Nobel, also seems pretty good. Okay, let's see, he's taking his reserve time. I mean, as I said, it is a hard turn to decide. And maybe even a deciding turn for him. So we'll grant him all the time that he needs. But there's quite a bit of H2 left, so he will have to decide. Okay, he will go for Nobel. That probably means no war from us. He's going heavy on the science. 6 science production. Oh, yeah, I think I agree with his play. And then we don't go for war. Get the Crusades, making our lead bigger. So he could go for architecture, finish the Kremlin. There's also the option to just go for Kremlin. Scientific method for next turn and then efficient upgrade. Upgrade that. Maybe I like that more. With the knowledge of pop of science and scientific breakthrough, this, yeah, this has to be it. I think. Yeah, sad to see architecture go, but at the moment we don't have the science for architecture anyway. We take away the scientific breakthrough from him, which he would probably like to go for. We take away both, or we take away the efficient upgrade. Efficient upgrade to number 2 and open growth will be discarded. So all of that seems pretty good. Man, this could have been a great colony game. If we had decided to go for Colosseum early on, this could have been a great colony game. We drew so many in H2 now. Some great ones if we wanted to go for sewers. But it was not to be, so we got more of a less exciting game in my mind. I don't know. The game is going good, so I don't know why I'm complaining, but it's just... My last turn was a little bit interesting, but he has such more interesting turns to play, actually. He has better decisions to make. We get a foray. We're winning every event. I mean, look at what we've won so far. We won the developed territory. We won the raiders. We won the uncertain borders. We won the crusades and the foray. Yeah. Okay, so we know the scientific breakthrough is on top. Means we probably don't want to push because we're going to upgrade the scientific method. And then we wait for that. He still has 6 science production, which is really nice with the extra philosophy and Nobel. But he doesn't have a lot of his time. That's what happens when you have complicated turns. Not like me, I haven't used the reserve time yet. He is getting a lot of these blue techs, which is great. So yeah, I don't think I want to push. I want to gain those rocks. Upgrade. Sure, the navigation doesn't look bad. I could take the navigation and the patriotism as well as popping. Could even mean we play some of these colonies later on. How about the... Okay, 1 opera is left. So we'll have to fight for that. Because Napoleon will be gone. But we want to go for Bach anyway. So this can go, I think. I think we're just gonna keep the colonies and go for them with the navigation. There's the opera, there's rifleman. Just something we haven't talked about yet, tactics, because tactics haven't been mattering up to this point. But when Joan of Arc is gone, we're gonna lose 6 strength, making us weaker, so riflemen are very important. Opera could be important, or will be important. National Pride that we just drew is awesome. Culture lead that we have is great. I don't know, maybe I should have even made sure that I could go for Napoleon. Because... I mean, Bach is also not bad, but... We do have the culture lead quite heavily. We don't really need more culture production. Is there Gandhi at least? There is, yeah. He hasn't solved happy faces yet, so at the end of his turn he's gonna, or before the start of his next turn he's gonna lose an extra 2 yellow cubes. And there is 1 organized religion left at least. Could deny opera and hope for late movies. Yeah, he could definitely do that. That's why the opera matters quite a bit. At least it's coming out on 3, so it will be expensive for him, but he could do that. The question is, will he do that? Because even then, if he goes for the opera, we still are sitting on 9 culture production. So I don't know if that is really good enough. If that is even his plan, to deny us more culture, if he actively needs to search for a different way to win by going for wars, etc. He could actually go for the railroad this turn. He could grab that, finish it, even with the architecture. That's a strong turn. Ooh, war of attack. Ooh, and there's gonna be... Alright, alright. Yeah, now I regret not having Napoleon. But we have a lot of strength. Oh, a lot of rocks, don't we? And a lot of science as well. Safe is definitely the national pride. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Rifleman. Cannon. We can develop that. Upgrade, upgrade. Okay, so we can't go for both anyway. Let's first decide what to push. I think we can easily just push the national pride for now. So the idea would be, definitely we need a new tactic. That could be achieved by going for the cannon. Remember, we lose 6 strength when Joan of Arc is gone. I would like the rifleman. Six strength gone puts us at 13, so this would be a draw on the war. Alternatively, we could go for this tactic, perhaps, if we go for cavalryman. Then we don't have enough rocks. And also puts us at 19 plus navigation. So this way we would win the war, but not by that much. I guess just the draw would be fine. We do want Bach though. So like this I could grab Bach. And we will be missing out of the opera. This is a mean turn. So at least we have reserve time to think about this. This also wins us the war by 1, which doesn't really matter too much. That's the thing, it's only a war of attack. And then I could grab Bach. We're not guaranteed to get in one of the cannons then. Yeah, this is actually problematic. Wish I had the option for Napoleon. Feels bad missing out on the rifleman. But let's just go for the 2 extra riflemen. Navigation. And then grab Bach. Guess we're gonna replace Joan of Arc first. We still have a tactic we can go for, not a great one. He's gonna deny the cannon from us. This is not a great turn. If I want both of these. We don't get navigation out. Okay, let's Just do this. We didn't need a lot of our reserve time with this turn. So before this, I was complaining that we had no hard turns, and then we get this turn. I did something wrong. Oh no, we win by exactly 1 here. Yuck. Stealing 1 science. That's an expensive turn for just the 1 science. I needed to keep both both tactics. 1 science stolen. Great. Great stuff. At least he has an uprising. I guess we still have quite the culture lead. So one idea to win this is just hide behind Gandhi. He doesn't have an active uprising though. He can just increase pop. Yeah. Then he's looking fine. He still has 15 rocks. He's looking strong. I might have to be scared. Just crazy because he only has 2 warriors. But with that railroad and Nobel, he's looking pretty strong. Okay, really nice. The cannon, opera. Okay, he wants to go for culture then. Spends a lot of his rocks on culture, which I think I like. Ooh, military theory, prosperity. So much food. I need the military theory, I need the wave, I need the reserves. I kinda need the breakthrough. Maybe we don't need the reserves. Maybe breakthrough instead. Definitely want to pop at least 1, so I want to upgrade 1. Hey Lemmings, nice to see you. I could get out of corruption. Do I need the military theory? Not super necessarily. Kinda would be great. If I don't though, we get out of corruption, can still grab the wave, the reserves and breakthrough. One, two, three, four, 5. Seems okay to give him the military theory because he just spent a lot of rocks on the opera. Now there's a movies, let him deny it. Let him play the deny game. We still have quite the culture lead. Thanks to my shorts, you realize you didn't discuss the synergies enough in your article, so I'll make a small update there. Oh, nice. Sounds awesome. Input of culture. Input of wonders gives a lot of culture. We get a hard transition for shock troops. There's rockets. So if he still wants to go for military, he kind of has to deny a lot of cards. Military theory, rockets. There's patriotism. We have the wave now, which gives us a lot of breathing room. He could go for yet another opera here. He would get a lot of cultural action then. And could contest for the Hollywood, especially with Chaplin. But then for us, if we get a movies, maybe even also Chaplin. Then we would also be looking at a lot more culture. So sitting at 10 while we don't even really get much out of Bach. Our wonders alone give us 5. So that's still great. Of science and something from him. He isn't pushing. Oh, has he pushed? No. We are sitting on a lot of population. We need to put that to good use somewhere. And what can be some dangers? He could still go for very strong late game. He has architecture, he has some population. Like if he gets computers and Einstein, computers Sid Meier, Mercury and oil is strong. So he's definitely not in a bad position still. He's just running against the clock with us having 10 culture production and quite the lead. And overall, I mean, at this moment, the rest is looking very similar. Yes, he has 2 more rock production, but we have a better happy face situation. Civil and military actions are the same. Culture is the same, food is the same. So most of the things are looking kind of equal. Only the culture where we have a lot more. So that's the big part that's making me quite confident. Hopefully not overconfident, but we will find out soon. Okay, once again taking his time. Thinking hard about these turns. I'm wondering if we're gonna get the movies. If it stays, we're probably gonna go for it. Just rebuild either a religion. Probably not the scientific method. Sitting on 6 science production at the moment is quite good. But one of the temples can be rebuilt into the movies. Organized religion, okay. Don't know if you needed that. Okay, interesting. So he's kind of keeping military as an option because he went for the happy faces. Also not really. So I think this turn we should go for movies. And what else? Military theory and then either patriotism, but we already have the wave. Rockets maybe to fulfill our tactic. How scared do I still have to be? He has a lot of rocks. Not that much population. He has a pretty full hand, so if I maybe just take the rockets and leave the yellow cards, there's a lot of yellow cards then. And patriotism will be gone, engineering genius will be gone, but there's urban growth, military build-up, efficient upgrade. I think we're gonna do this. So yeah. Game of competition is looking okay at the moment. There's Hollywood, 10 to 12 at the moment. So why did he go for the organized? I mean, it's not that expensive, it just mainly costs civil actions. Grabbing, development and upgrading is 3 civil actions he just spent on that. People are saying Hollywood. We explained it to you before, right? It's from BoJack Horseman. And it's just very iconic. And also here it looks, look at the D, it's kind of off slightly. So it wants to be called Hollywood. Ah, you just forgot? Yeah. Now you should watch it. It's a long show, but it's a great one. So competition is not a bad draw. You have no idea what Bowman is? BoJack Horseman, you mean? Not Bowman? Yeah, you don't know BoJack. BoJack is great. Bojack, yeah. So there's a computer. How does he have 17 rocks again? I guess because he only upgraded the organized. But 17 rocks is scary. Could grab computers, develop them, upgrade 2. But computers don't give culture immediately. So there's that at least. By the way, we should have probably kept one more colonization cut and discarded the shark troops. We're not gonna go for shark troops now that we have rockets. So that was a mistake. If we don't win the develop, that's my fault then. This game is weird. This game is pretty weird. I always have the feeling we are the bad guys somehow. Okay, he's gonna go for an extra opera. He's gonna leave all of these. Okay, so military is not gonna be an issue anymore. There's democracy, great. Not so great is the part where we have to destroy something. I really want the democracy. So goodbye St. Pete's. Oof. That hurts. That hurts. Ah, does that mean I don't get good democracy? I mean, especially if I go for democracy. Means we don't have a lot of happy faces, so maybe I have to destroy the Acropolis. Giving Hollywood at 5 CAs, yeah, but we could just steal it. Another thing we want to steal is probably the democracy. Don't want to give him that. That would have been a great turn if we had been able to use the Acropolis to go for democracy this turn. I just feel like we're gonna have happy face issues non-stop. I mean, there's developed territory. Yeah, but still. We have way too much population too. And let him have Hollywood. We could go for spaceflight. Empire State. I mean, these are expensive. We don't have too many rocks, especially if we build the second movies. Seeing to just strategize makes me realize that I rush through my games way too much. I mean, this is even a Blitz game or Super Blitz game, so check out one of Weidenbaum's videos that he posts on YouTube, where he has a lot more time to talk about his turns. There you will see how much planning you could do for each turn. Like, I'm always playing on Super Blitz, so that is my speed, but Weidenbaum is more comfortable with acing, so there you can take, like, for late turns in a 4-player game, you can take half an hour to think about the turn. It's pretty crazy. Bit of pop, 10 to 10. We get one more easily. Yeah, we could play that. Long time ago, you thought about making videos about your IC games. Okay, those would have been interesting back in your active career. Too much work? Yeah. Nowadays it's okay just talking about the replays. It's not that much work anymore. But before there was a replay, it was a lot of work, yeah, indeed. So the thing I'm worrying about at the moment is if he gets 2 wonders. The state is, I guess we could just take away the Empire State and then the rest isn't that great for him. We could go for Spaceflight. Because he has a lot of rocks, so if he goes to Hollywood. You want to record real-time turns? Yeah, I still think it's the cooler format to watch, but obviously it's also way more work to do it. So I can understand that Weinbaum. I mean, Weinbaum only started after that was a possibility. If you don't want to do it any different way, you take very, very long. Okay, so Himmelstosh. He has an engineering in hand, has patriotism. But yeah, I don't think at this point, he can still go for any military place. He has to go for wonder place, probably. But we're still on more culture production than him. I think he would have been very happy about an early chaplain. Because now if he grabs Hollywood, I mean 18 is not bad. He could go for the communism, build an extra opera. So he could make for a pretty big Hollywood, especially if he waits for chaplain. He could also, next turn, use military build-up and wave. Just show a new tactic, go for rockets. Which is gonna be great for the competition. Gonna make him scared. He's gonna go for communism. Mandela. No wonder for him. Colonies 6 to 3, okay. So things just changed. I mean, we can't get weaker this turn. Can only go down to 12, so we can't use military build-up and wave. We can go for democracy and Empire State. Reserves. Pop. Revolutionary idea. And yeah, Empire State might not get super big, it's at 21 at the moment. We can easily keep strength because of military build-up and wave. Culture's ours. And science is ours too. Yeah. Seems like an easy enough turn. We have enough rocks to finish the Empire State, even if he would end the age, which he potentially could do. Right, he has to take 4 cards, which is 6 civil actions. He has an extra hand space. Maybe it's possible. 12 to 8 from wonders. Playing a friendly game with Epoch Piadan to silence. Okay. Friendly game as in no wars or just non-competitive? So it doesn't count as you coming back from your retirement. But what is his game plan now that he went for Mandela but no wonder for him? I mean, there's Manhattan, but Manhattan doesn't count. I still don't think he can make a war work. This would be the last. Okay, next turn could be the last for a war. But if he doesn't end now, we can still use the wave and the military buildup. So I was scared there for a little bit, but in the end, something was missing to catch up. we could say a lot of this came down to Bach, but I think that would be wrong in this case. This game was not dominated by Bach. He got the better H2 leader, or he got more out of his H2 leader, I would say. Oh, he will end the H. Okay. Oh, Andy's getting stronger. Well, we can still easily push a bit of science. Lose Bach, can get back Chaplin. Relation 12 to 10. Chaplin seems great. We actually missed out on our tactic. Maybe it's time to go for military theory. Food production. Can we get one more food? Oh yes, we can. So we're gonna get quite the big Empire State for 28. Yeah, this game is done now. He had even fortifications. Yeah, that one turn. Maybe he probably didn't have a war, especially in H. Ah, he did have that H2 turn, H2 war. Like there was this moment when he switched to the two operas. There I was scared. It was good to keep up in culture, but maybe he could have done more. But yeah, as I said, at that time also it was hard for him. There was always the option go for Gandhi. If he went too much into military, he couldn't know that Gandhi was literally the last card. Military race has been intense for you with Piata being in there. Oh yeah. Yeah. Piata makes it so. So yeah, still looking good this game here. Don't know what he could possibly do, so yeah, early culture did a lot for us. Also late culture, he never really overtook us in culture production, but he was kind of forced into the operas, and then we were just able to keep up with Bach and also the rest. Like our wonders gave us a lot of culture production. St. Pete's and Kremlin. And then, I mean, obviously the early game was super good for us with the winning the Raiders, Uncertain Borders, Crusades, and Foray. And the early developed territory. And getting a Joan of Arc religion thing. Yeah, we had a good game. We had a pretty good game. At one turn, that was a pretty hard one. Okay, he actually wins science, right? I could have seen that maybe. And strength as well. He's gonna do his best. Competition 8 to 9. Strength 0 to 10. Variety 12 to 16. And then science 0 to 10. So he comes a little bit closer, but in the end, pretty clear cut with 60 points lead for defeating Himmelstosh. GG indeed. Chat seems quiet today. Yeah, definitely. Maybe a little bit too early for. Maybe some are still sleepy. But no matter. So let's get these points. 52. That's a lot of puntos. Himmelstosh has been doing well then. I mean, it was relatively high.